It's very unnerving when you meet kids who know more about technology than you do, things like computers. Well, on Cross Country this morning, Eric Burns will tell us about cameras and kids.
I'm going to tell you about a very good idea in education at the Wissahickon School District in Ambler, Pennsylvania. I'm also going to tell you that this is a report which I think speaks for itself. So with one exception, it will, and I won't.
Stand by.
Speed.
Action. Hello, friends in Takahaya High School in Japan.
Konnichiwa, Takahaya High Schoolの皆さん。
We are
私たちは
baking for you
焼きたいと思います。
an apple pie.
アップルパイを。
We hope you will send us a Japanese dish and show us how to make it.
This is a foreign exchange program.
これは他国との交流を深める計画です。
But instead of students going to other countries,
しかし我々生徒たちは他国に行くことができません。
videotape cassettes go to other countries.
しかしビデオテープカセットは他国に行くことができます。
And videotape cassettes from other countries
そして他国で作ったカセットテープもここに来ることができます。
come here.
お待ちしています。
His American television debut.
We'll show you some of the kinds of things that the German students told students here last year.
Now we will ask you some questions. How many teachers are teaching you?
I'd like to ask you, what questions would you like to ask the students in Germany? Mimi?
What kind of food do they eat?
Okay.
How do they get to school? Would they like to learn a lot of English?
I think it's a really neat program, and you get to meet kids like sort of like a video pen pal.
Je m'appelle Kim. My name is Kim. Je m'appelle Donna. My name is Donna. Nous sommes à la car spa. C'est un carrelage. C'est une place où on lave toute la voiture. We'll be back in a minute. Un moment. D'accord? Bye-bye. Goodbye.
I think it's an important program because it's kids teaching kids rather than like just reading from a textbook.
Bonjour, nous sommes les jeunes filles qui inspirent l'enthousiasme des spectateurs au match de football américain. Je m'appelle Nancy, et c'est Kim, Caitlin, and Patty. We're the Trojans and we're proud!
The young people of the world ought to be able to grow up in connection with one another. There is no reason why young people should be separated by financial barriers and cultural barriers that can be brought down by the simple fact that all around the world, big companies are selling consumer variety video.
We hope this tape will give you all a picture of Wissahickon in the fall. Remember, the world is really small. Friends, friends, friends.
Tom, they have, those students have pen pals in 3 foreign countries now and looking for more all the time. It's a nice idea, isn't it?
It is, and I have enough trouble communicating in English with the people who are in this country.
From Cologne, West Germany, European Journal.
The use of nuclear energy is a heated topic of debate within the younger generation in Europe, and they discuss such topics with American students on the all-too-rare occasions when they get together. I recently sat in on such a debate as West German students communicated with American students through videotape recordings. Although the main aim of the project is to help the youngsters in their foreign language studies, it also helps them find out something about each other's lifestyles. A video letter from the United States is an integral part of the curriculum for students at a high school in Leverkusen, West Germany. They regularly receive a videotape from students attending Wissahickon High School in Ambler, Pennsylvania. The tape exchange was started in 1975 and is now a major teaching aid in language classes. On the tape, the students tell a bit about themselves, their family, and their hobbies, and then ask a question, like this one from Ambler student Karl Buchholz.
Meine Mutter, mein Vater und meine Schwester.
Meine Frage ist, was denken Sie von unser Präsident Ronald Reagan und seiner politischen Richtungen?
A political question about President Reagan's policies, phrased in good German, that immediately opens up a serious discussion among the German students. They are in grades 11 and 12, and some are active in politics in their own communities. Phrasing the right answer is a good test of the German students' English. They discuss what reply to give for some time, hashing over the various points of view prevalent among themselves and their friends. And they carefully point out that opinion in Germany is divided before one student gives a pretty pointed answer.
I think a lot of my friends, and I myself too, are a bit afraid of Mr. Reagan because he says that he might imagine a first strike theory on Europe, and this for us is very striking because imagining using atomic weapons in Germany, it makes me afraid of him because he has such thoughts.
A strictly personal view reflecting one side of the debate in West Germany, where polls taken after Reagan's visit showed 80% of the population approved of the trip. Europeans often express shock about how little they feel Americans know about Europe. A leading West German politician recently returned from a visit to the United States and said Americans were unbelievably ignorant about West Germany. And he said relations between the two countries suffered because of this. So this school project is an important effort to rectify this situation.
This compilation tape samples some of the video exchange curriculum that we have only recently put into operation here at Wissahickon High School. Since the President's Commission report of 1979, the need for national improvement has, if anything, risen, while at the same time, the national will to supply the necessary funds has weakened. Our proposal is based on a technology so sophisticated it can handle language and culture transmission and expression, yet so simple that anyone can use it.
Was tun Sie am Wochenende?
What do we do? Wir gehen ins Kino. Gehen zu Kino? Ins Kino. Und wir sind friendly.
Instead of acting as the passive subjects of a pre-packaged curriculum, students in the video exchange program formulate their own questions and thereby control the medium. This participatory method develops a wide range of curriculum content.
I'd like to know what the German people think of American troops being stationed in Germany.
I'd like to know what kind of clothes the students wear to school. Here in our school, the students like to wear blue jeans, or the girls will get dressed up and wear skirts or dresses.
Haben Sie das Film M mit Peter Lorre gesehen?
I'd like to know if you have a park course near you. A park course is a jogging course with stations for weightlifting and calisthenics interspersed throughout.
I'd like to know if you think that East and West Germany will ever be reunited.
But the use of portable television cameras captures the viewpoint of communicating students and permits them to respond also to requests from their video partners.
Quite a few cars coming from Philadelphia, some of them probably going home to relax.
Okay, there is the Philadelphia Art Museum. If you have seen the American movie Rocky with Sylvester Stallone, this is the place where he ran up the steps. Is the Joan of Arc statue out there?
Moi j'aime bien l'école de Pascal, je me plais bien, parce que d'abord j'ai pas de difficulté de...
Wissahickon High School has just begun an exchange in French with a Belgian military school. An excerpt demonstrates the kind of connection possible even on the first exchange.
What is the situation of Indians in Pennsylvania?
In answer to your question and concerning the Indian situation in Pennsylvania, in the early 1700s, when the Europeans first started to settle on the east coast of continental America, the Indians lived there, but there were fights and massacres that occurred, and there were also treaties and promises that were made by the white men to the Indians.
These are students who are
mostly about 14 years old, and we've just done a project studying waste and recycling in this country. We'd like to tell you a little bit about what we've found and ask you some questions about these.
It is vital to understand that the video exchange is not limited to language classes, but encompasses the entire curriculum.
What treatments you have for toxic chemicals in Germany?
Estamos muy cerca de Filadelfia. Ahora vamos a conocer algunos de los estudiantes.
Clearly, every area of the curriculum can be studied internationally by video exchange. Teachers, and above all students who know the relevant foreign tongues, can use their skills to help others understand what is being said whenever translation is needed. This is a practical use of language already learned, providing both practice and real-life rewards.
De ahora los estudiantes van a hacer una pregunta en Mexico. Okay, Cookie.
I have a few questions, and one is about your clothes. We know it's hot down there, but what kind of clothes do you wear to school and all? And the second
As this video suggests, international video exchange education may not have any inherent grade-level limitations.
And what kind of foods do you enjoy the most?
As a result of the minimal exchange work already done here at Wissahickon, a number of German students have come to visit us for 3 weeks and are hoping that we can visit them in the fall. Here we are receiving some television coverage.
Some high school students from West Germany are visiting the Delaware Valley tonight at Wissahickon High School. They saw a slide and film show on this area, and Action News reporter Rob Jennings says some of the scenes may have looked familiar.
For the past few months, these German and American students have been corresponding through their language classes, learning each other's language and culture by way of video cassette. Now the German students and their teachers have come to meet their fellow students at Wissahickon High School. They'll be living in local homes for 3 weeks to get an understanding of American life.
We have pupils here that were rather, at the outset of the program, were poor achievers. And because the language has become something that isn't just learned out of a textbook, it has become something that is alive.
Royer's counterpart on this side of the Atlantic, Dr. Alan Soffin, says the tape letters allow students to ask each other questions about their language and everyday life. He hopes it'll expand to other schools. Now Wissahickon High School is beginning a similar program with French students overseas, and the response here has been overwhelming. There's just no more room in any of the classes. A lot of people believe that world travel is probably the best way to get an education, to get a real feel of the world we live in. This tape letter program has brought the world home to these German and American students.
In the following fall, 5th grade students at Wissahickon entered the video exchange program. They prepared a tape on Halloween for 5th grade counterparts in Leverkusen. As an adjunct of the multi-level video exchange approach, a high school student makes practical use of her language learning by preparing a German narration of the 5th grade Halloween presentation for the 5th graders in Leverkusen. She composes essentially her own description using a standard dictionary in the process.
I'm going to say the children have made these monsters. I'm going to say then they compete. Who made the best?
They compete for who made the best monster. Yeah, the best one. Okay, ready?
Okay. Die Kinder haben diese Monstrum gemacht.
Yeah, in other words, they have decks over there
translation.
where they can go just to channel 2 and listen to English, or just channel 1 and listen to the German. And obviously what the learning process is that the kids who are learning English can listen to English, and they can rewind and listen to the German so they know what they're saying.
So here it is. This is right from Germany. That's what it looks like. You want to see what it looks like coming across? Look at the writing on that. That's in German. See that? Yeah, that's in German. And if I have my glasses, I can tell you what it says. Päckchen. Päckchen. Päckchen, package, mit Luftpost. That's by air. Luftpost. Luft is air. Okay? Want to see that? Luftpost? Take a look at that. 10 years old.
And in the 5B. My name is Frank Taube. I am 11 years old and in the 5B.
Die Puppe machen wir Spaß.
1 week later, 2 of our high schoolers come to the 5th grade to teach the youngsters some German for their next video exchange. The session runs an active 1 hour.
Honey said, here's my puppet.
Hier ist meine Puppe.
Here is mein Puppe.
Hier ist meine Puppe.
Here is...
You have he is my puppet.
It's she, Linda. Here is my puppet. Oh, I got it.
Each 5th grader writes and practices his own message in English and in German translation. I really think that you've done awfully well. You picked up a lot of words, and you seem to be working it out among yourselves very well with the help of the high school students. Do you like the fact that they came down to work with you?
Yes!
Good. Do you think you and others might come down and do some things now and then with the kids?
Yeah! Yes.
Good. Okay. Do you think you can, let me ask you this, do you think you could learn some more German words after a while?
Yes! Sure.
Okay, now do you want to make a tape to send to Germany?
Yes!
Okay, more than one? We're ready.
We just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Auf Wiedersehen.
Wir warten auf Ihren Film.
I'm Joe Phillips, and I'm the chairman of the language department at Edison High School. And we've had contact with students in France by way of video exchange.
Okay. Ah, voilà. Voilà la lettre. Hein? Voilà la lettre. Ah, voilà Georges.
Ah, Georges.
Bien, Georges n'était pas dans ma classe ce matin. Où étiez-vous? Maintenant, je vais lire la lettre. Mrs. Carolyn C. Chers collègues, nous avons eu que très peu de temps pour préparer cet enregistrement que nous tenions à vous répondre avant les vacances de février, qui commencent aujourd'hui. Juste avant l'enregistrement,
That's it.
Il est 8h30 quand les premiers cours commencent au lycée. Voici une des entrées principales du lycée, la conciergerie, par laquelle chaque matin des élèves arrivent soit à pied, soit en mobilette ou en moto. Voici le château du parc dans lequel se situent les différents bâtiments du lycée. Dans ce château se trouvent les principaux locaux administratifs, ainsi qu'une salle de réunion pour professeurs. Les professeurs gardent leur voiture devant ce château, ou bien un peu plus loin dans le lycée.
So I'm Mrs. Tournay. I'm the teacher of this class of Première B in the lycée de Montgeron. And I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi folks, my name is Hervé Fontanier, and my nickname is, as you can see, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
As you know, I live in the suburb of Paris, in Vigneux. I've been learning English for 7 years, but as you can see, my accent has still got something to do with the French one. I've been going to this lycée for nearly 3 years. I am now 17. What I like best is listening to music, groups such as AC/DC, Van Halen, Survivor. And there is no differences between the music I like to listen to and the type of music I like to play on my guitar. I'm not very keen on fashion and things like that, such as funky music. But some of my friends at school like this type of music. I would like to know if there's a big concert hall in your town, in case I get famous in the next few years, as I hope to.
Hello, my name is Marie-Thérèse Pugliese, but most of my friends call me Marité. I'm 18. I'm fond of cinema, all the cinema. I like music too, particularly music from Brazil. I read very much, and I like to theater. Now I would like to ask you some questions. How do you imagine a typical Frenchman? If you came to France, what would you like to see first? Where would you like to go first? Do you know French music and French cinema? What do you think about them? What actors do you prefer? That's all for this time. Before leaving you, I want to tell you that we think you are very friendly. I hope we become very good friends. Goodbye.
My name is Christophe Maury. I am 17. I love American movies of the 70s, like Taxi Driver, One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest. Do you know some French movies? My favorite actors are Jack Nicholson, Robert De Niro, and Dustin Hoffman. They are anti-hero. I also like punk music. There aren't a lot of groups of punk music in USA, despite the Ramones, the Heartbreakers, the Dead Kennedys, the Dead Boys. Where did Peter get his photo? Do you like President Reagan?
Please excuse my interruption, moment, image, an adjustment of the, I don't know the last word.
My name is Thierry Fayaburu. I'm 16.
Right.
I like motorbikes and cars and vans very much. I would know if you like American football and the rules of this game, because I like music like Whitesnake, Rainbow, reggae, and also classical music like Beethoven, Bach, and South American music. I would like to speak with person who speak Spanish because I'm interested with that. That's all false.
My name is Daniel. I am 7.
No, not yet. I think it's all for today. Thanks, goodbye. And we'll try to send you a shorter tape next time. The rules we use.
Marjorie, how did you like the tape?
Oh, I loved it, and I would like to answer back to them. I think I have a lot to say to them.
Stop choking.
Yeah, I think I'll have a lot to say to them, because I copied most of their questions, and I'd like to answer them one by one now.
I went to talk to a couple of the girls, you know, Catherine and you know, I thought they were interesting. So, you know, I try to prepare my French a little better since this is my first year, so I'll try to do my best. You know, for 7 years and 6 years of English, I mean, I think that they could have done a little better. But I think, I mean, my French ain't hot, but like, you know, I can say a couple things. I mean, you know.
You have to understand that the English that they are learning are just school English. It's not like conversational English. And so therefore, for 7 years, I think they learned a lot.
I'm gonna try to get another mohawk haircut. And the young man, Chris, he wanted to know how come I got it, and it was because I was trying to change my different lifestyle from normal soft rock to hard rock.
Well, I have to get my response first, my response from what they said, so I could tell them what they want. Well, I think that we should take a tour around the city and show them our city like they showed us our school and part of the outside. Show them the Liberty Bell, different sites, the museums, different sites so they could show us their museums and their interesting places they have over there. They were friendly and what? Olivier, he was very cute. Yeah.
They're into more classical music than they are into rock and soul and that.
Well, I think that most of the things that they like are mutual. We also like them too. And I was happy that they made mistakes too that made us feel good because we weren't, we didn't think that they would be laughing at us or anything because it made me feel happy. And when I respond to them, I want to answer them their questions and ask them more about the things that they have over there. That's it.
I'm glad that they like salsa music and, they're popular, that they like that, and it makes us feel happy that, we're not all that perfect, and so, our French is not all that good, but the English, it's okay too.
They were a little bit more positively reacting to the film than they normally do about regular classwork. It was more exciting for them, and I found that they in listening, they were more intensive in trying to understand, more attentive in trying to understand what the kids were really saying. And even though it was in English, for some of them who are Spanish speakers, it was a little bit more difficult, so they had to pay attention to what was being said. Basically, I thought the reaction was good, really good, especially with the comments that I got, while the tape was going, and what kind of kids. Well, they're just kids like us.
I'm actually glad they made a lot of mistakes, because I did too. I made plenty of mistakes, and I would like them to correct me, because I want my French to improve very much.
One of their requests of us was to show them scenes of Philadelphia, because they had been studying the Revolution, the American Revolution.
Hello, we're here at Philadelphia's great landmark called Independence Mall, where we promised to take you. Philadelphia has a population of about 7 million. People come here from all over to see this nation of this natural shrine here. So we hope that you will like seeing our Liberty Bell and our great landmark here in Philadelphia.
Here we see a tour being conducted of the Liberty Bell and the story behind the Liberty Bell.
The First Continental Congress met here at Independence Mall in 1774. Only 9 colonies attended. It's kind of ironic that we live in the city and really don't know that much about the actual history, so it has helped us a great deal to have to come back and kind of research the things to learn more so that we could tell them about it, because we really don't, we know some things, the things that you learn straight out of the text, and it's good to be out here and actually experience and be inside and have firsthand information right there at your fingertips and not out of the book per se, reading it, I think this is a very interesting project, and it should continue for as many years as it can. It's really fun to do. I hope you enjoy the tape as much as we have enjoyed doing it for you.
Temple University agrees and has begun exploring the potential of video exchange for internationalizing the processes of adult learning. In our first example, a French literature class addresses questions directly to a French novelist.
Je voudrais prendre cette occasion pour poser une question assez générale sur la littérature française.
Répondre à la question de Méripoteau. Vous déclarez que dans la littérature française, il y a une perpétuelle oscillation entre
From his study near Nice, France, novelist and teacher Michel Butor responds to each student's question individually. He has been shown their video message at home by a student crew from a nearby cooperating lycée. They are the ones videotaping his response. Because the intellectual content is personally addressed, it reaches an audience whose attention and involvement are unwavering.
Avec des données tout aussi simples que cela. Ce qui se passe, c'est que il y a des découvertes qui se font, des transformations dans la sensibilité.
Through the video respondent technique, and no matter where they are in the world, artists and thinkers can enter the social experience of the adult learner.
Et maintenant, Patricia Phillips. Vous êtes scientifique. Dites votre deuxième question.
Michel Butor was talking a great deal about the importance of translation, in a sense, as a way of undoing the barriers that separate languages and separate cultures create. I think this, in a sense, is a kind of translation that really can have a powerful effect on undoing barriers.
This medium, video cassette, which for me and for a lot of people is representative of a more alienated, cold approach to study, really is something that brings you right into, say, Michel Butor's office and brings you face to face with him, so that actually it can become a much closer exchange than it really could ever appear to be.
What happens is just the practice of pinpointing a certain question, a certain thought, and being forced, as he said, to be concise, to be even a little eloquent in your language. You know that you're talking to somebody who is very high caliber. It sort of forces, perhaps, hopefully, the best out of you. Forces you to do something well, to prepare a little bit of a speech for somebody, and then, which is just half of the whole experience. The other half is the great satisfaction that you get when you see somebody like Michel Butor that you've heard about, that people talk about, who's somebody famous, is very, very exciting, and just makes you feel very good emotionally. It's exciting, as well as what he says is very educational and very stimulating.